after more than 4 decades inside operating rooms, rehab facilities, and recovery floors. One lesson has become painfully clear to every orthopedic surgeon who has watched the human body age. Strength fades long before the mind notices it, and balance disappears long before the person understands why. We have watched thousands of bones break, thousands of joints replaced, and thousands of seniors struggle with something they never expected to lose: independence. What we've learned from years of treating hips, knees, ankles, spines, and shoulders is this: walking alone cannot protect a body over 75. It helps. It matters. But it is not enough. Every year, new fitness influencers, tech startups, digital health companies, and wellness coaches repeat the same comforting message. Just walk. Walking is enough. Walking is everything seniors need. It sounds pleasant. It sounds simple. It sounds safe. But when you study anatomy, movement science, biomechanics, and aging, not theories, but real tissue under real stress, you discover a truth that marketing will never tell you. Walking does not rebuild muscle that is already wasted away. Walking does not restore the stabilizers that prevent a fall. Walking does not rebuild bone density after age 75. Walking does not strengthen the hips, ankles, or knees in ways that matter during emergencies. Walking does not train the fast twitch reactions that protect a senior during a sudden imbalance. And so, the question becomes obvious. Why has the world been telling seniors that walking alone is enough when the body clearly shows otherwise? This script exists because seniors deserve the truth. Not fear, not marketing, not myths, but the truth that can protect them. Today we will break down the science of aging bodies, explore what really causes falls, and reveal what orthopedic surgeons consider essential for seniors after 75. Not complicated workouts, not heavy weights, not gym routines, just specific movements that rebuild strength in ways walking never can. Let's begin. Point 1. The aging body. Why walking stops working after 75. Most seniors believe that walking keeps them strong because walking makes them feel active. The heart pumps. The lungs work. The steps add up. But here's the thing. The muscles and nerves responsible for stability are not challenged during walking. After 75, the body undergoes something medical literature calls accelerated sarcopenia. Sarcopenia is the loss of muscle mass and strength, but after 75, this loss accelerates rapidly. Not slowly, not subtly, rapidly. What surprises most seniors is that the first muscles to deteriorate are not the big, obvious ones. They are the small, stabilizing fibers around the hips, ankles, knees, and lower back. These fibers are responsible for keeping you upright when something unexpected happens. When you stumble, when the floor is uneven, when you turn too fast, when you trip on a rug. Those fibers are like your body's emergency braking system. Walking barely stimulates them. Walking moves your legs forward in a smooth, predictable motion on flat ground. But real life is unpredictable. Real life requires stepping sideways, rotating, shifting weight, lifting one leg, bracing a fall, and stabilizing quickly. This is where walking fails the elderly, not because walking is bad, but because walking is limited. An elderly person may walk 2 miles daily and still be unable to stand from a low chair without using their hands. They may walk around their neighborhood, but struggle stepping into a bathtub. They may complete 10,000 steps, yet lose balance, turning to grab something behind them. Orthopedic surgeons see this every day. A strong walker is not the same thing as a strong senior. Walking builds cardiovascular endurance. Strength training builds independence. And after 75, independence depends entirely on strength, not stamina. Point 2. The silent collapse. What happens when stability muscles shut down? In our 40s and 50s, our muscles work smoothly without us noticing. By our 60s, small weaknesses start appearing, needing a railing on stairs, using hands to rise from a couch. By 75, these weaknesses can become dangerous. But here's the part seniors never realize. The muscles required for stability degrade twice as fast as the muscles used for walking. Imagine a house with strong walls but a weak foundation. The walls look sturdy from the outside, but the structure is unstable. That's exactly what happens when seniors walk daily but do no strength training. Their stamina looks fine. Their posture appears normal. They seem active. But the supporting foundation, the deep muscles, has weakened. These include gluteus medius, controls sideways movement. Hip abductors, stabilize pelvis. Ankle inverters and everters, prevent ankle rolling. Core stabilizers, protect spine during movement. Deep quadriceps and hamstring fibers, control knee motion. Walking does not activate these muscles strongly enough to create adaptation. This is why seniors often say, "I don't understand how I fell. I walk every day." Orthopedic surgeons hear this sentence constantly. A fall does not happen because your steps are weak. A fall happens because your stabilizers are weak. When seniors lose these stabilizers, their steps become shorter. Their posture leans forward. Their ankles wobble more easily. Their hips shift side to side. Their knees buckle unexpectedly. Their turn movements become slow. Seniors assume this is normal aging. It is not. It is preventable muscle shutdown, reversible with the right exercises. Walking does not stop this shutdown. Strength exercises do. Point 3. Understanding falls. Why seniors fall even after 10,000 steps. Every orthopedic surgeon agrees falls are not accidents. Falls are failures of the neuromuscular system. And what shocks most families is that seniors often fall not during walking, but during the simplest movements. Turning to sit, standing up too fast, stepping sideways, reaching overhead, walking backwards, entering a bathtub, getting out of a car. These movements require strength, power, and reaction speed, not endurance. When researchers measured the time it takes for a fall to occur, the result was astonishing. A fall happens in 0.4 seconds, less than half a second, faster than conscious thought. During that 0.4 second, only one thing can save you: fast twitch muscle fibers. These fibers stabilize your body instantly. These fibers fire before your brain even understands what's happening. These fibers weaken dramatically after 75, and walking does not train them at all. Walking trains slow-twitch fibers, the ones responsible for steady movement, not emergency response. This is why seniors with excellent walking routines still experience sudden balance loss, knee collapses, ankle twisting, hip instability, tripping on flat ground. Walking is linear. Falls are multidirectional. Walking is repetitive. Falls happen during surprises. Walking is gentle. Falls demand strength. This is why orthopedic surgeons warn older adults. You are not training for the walking you're doing. You are training for the moments you're not expecting. Your life is not determined by how well you walk. It is determined by whether you can recover from a stumble. And walking does not train that recovery system. Point 4. The illusion of walking strength. Why most seniors overestimate their ability. There is a moment every orthopedic surgeon dreads, not because it is rare, but because it is far too common. A senior walks confidently into the clinic, feeling proud of their steps, their daily walks, their pedometer numbers. They sit down across from the surgeon and say almost proudly, "I walk 2 miles every morning. I think I'm doing great." And then the surgeon asks them to perform one simple task: stand up from a chair without using your hands. What happens next is a moment of awakening. Some can do it, but many cannot. Their legs tremble, their knees wobble, their hips sway, their upper body leans forward far more than they realize. It is as if the body suddenly reveals a truth the person has been avoiding. Endurance does not equal strength. This is the illusion of walking strength, a belief that because you can move for long distances, you must be strong. But orthopedic science tells a different story. Endurance is the ability to keep going. Strength is the ability to hold yourself up. Endurance keeps your steps moving. Strength keeps your body standing. You can walk for miles with weak muscles and never notice the decline until something unexpected happens. And that is what makes this illusion dangerous. Seniors trust walking to protect them. unaware that the very muscles walking ignores are the ones responsible for their safety. One of the most troubling patterns surgeons see is that seniors slow down gradually without realizing why. They shorten their steps, lean forward more, shift weight from side to side, lift their feet less, or hesitate before stepping onto a curb. They attribute this to getting older, but it is actually their body compensating for weakness. The brain begins to rewrite movement habits to avoid instability, using momentum instead of muscle. This silent rewiring hides the decline until it becomes too difficult to ignore. Orthopedic surgeons call it the masking phase, a period when endurance tricks you into believing you are stronger than you truly are. A woman from Minnesota, age 82, once said something unforgettable during evaluation. "I walked every day, so I wouldn't get weak. I didn't know I was getting weak anyway." Her words reflect what millions of seniors experiences but never articulate. Walking prevents certain forms of decline but does nothing for the invisible systems aging quietly dismantles: stability, reflex speed, muscle power, joint support, and strength. This illusion becomes most dangerous during emergencies. When a foot catches the edge of a rug, when a grandchild bumps into you unexpectedly, when you stand too fast and lose your balance, or when the floor is slightly uneven, walking endurance offers zero protection. Your safety depends on whether your body can react instantly, and walking does not build the reaction muscles. That is why orthopedic surgeons emphasize walking is wonderful, but it must not be your only exercise. Point 5. The hidden enemy. The slow death of fast-twitch fibers. There's a part of the human body that receives almost no attention from fitness influencers, wellness bloggers, or walking advocates. Yet every orthopedic surgeon considers it the single most important factor in fall prevention: fast-twitch muscle fibers. These are the muscles that protect you when life surprises you. They fire before your brain processes danger. They tighten when you slip. They activate when you stumble. They stabilize when your center of gravity shifts. They are your body's emergency response team. And after age 75, these fibers begin disappearing faster than any other tissue in the body. Fast-twitch fibers are like small, powerful springs. When a senior loses balance, these springs are what snap the body back to safety. But here's the terrifying truth: walking barely uses them. Walking is slow, predictable, steady, rhythmic. Fast-twitch fibers require sudden movement, force, pressure, or tension to stay alive. Without these triggers, they begin to shut down, shrinking until the body has nothing left to stabilize itself during emergencies. This is the silent killer of independence. A study from the Baltimore Longitudinal Study of Aging reported something shocking. Seniors lose up to 40% of their fast-twitch fibers between ages 75 and 85. That's nearly half of their emergency muscle system gone in just a decade. And most seniors have no idea it's happening. They think weakness starts in the big muscles. It doesn't. Weakness begins in the fibers designed to save your life. This loss explains why seniors often say, "I felt fine until the moment I fell." That moment felt sudden to them, but to their nervous system, the decline had been happening for years. A man in Virginia once told his therapist, "My legs didn't fail me when I walked. They failed me when I slipped." This distinction is everything. Walking doesn't train the slipping moment, the stumbling moment, the off-balance moment. Walking trains only the predictable, smooth, repeatable motions your body already knows. After 75, life becomes less about how far you can walk and more about how quickly you can recover. This decline in fast-twitch fibers is why orthopedic surgeons insist on exercises that replicate real emergencies. Shifting weight, single-leg balance, resistance holds, controlled tension, lateral movement, and core bracing. These rebuild the very fibers walking ignores. Without these fibers, even a senior who walks 10,000 steps daily remains vulnerable. Point 6. The truth about balance. Why seniors lose it without warning. Balance is one of the most misunderstood systems in the human body. People think balance is something you try harder to maintain, like focusing your eyes or steadying your feet. But balance doesn't work like that. Balance is not a skill. It is not a mindset. It is not a conscious effort. Balance is an automatic neuromuscular process. It is controlled by three systems working together. The inner ear vestibular system, the eye's visual system, the body's position sensors, proprioceptors. When you're young, these systems communicate instantly. When you're older, that communication slows. But the slowdown isn't the problem. The problem is that the muscles responsible for executing the balance corrections become too weak to respond. The brain sends a signal, but the muscles cannot carry out the command. It's like trying to steer a car with a broken steering wheel. The brain says correct, but the muscles say, I can't. This is why seniors often feel like their balance disappears without warning. They stand up, they turn, they step sideways, and suddenly their foot doesn't land where they expected. Their ankle collapses inward. Their knee slides out. Their hip shifts too far. Their body begins to tilt, and there is nothing powerful enough to pull it back. Walking does nothing to strengthen the muscles responsible for balance recovery. In fact, walking often hides balance problems because the forward momentum of walking compensates for weakness. But when the momentum stops, when you stand still, when you turn, when you shift your weight, your body is exposed. This is when falls happen. Imagine a senior reaching into a cabinet. Their weight shifts slightly. A young person corrects instantly. A weak senior does not. The hip doesn't fire. The ankle doesn't stabilize. The core doesn't tighten. And in that split second, gravity takes over. Orthopedic surgeons always say, balance isn't lost when you fall. Balance is lost 2 years before the fall, slowly, silently, invisibly. That 2-year decline is the window where intervention matters most. Balance doesn't return by walking more. Balance returns when you strengthen the muscles that act during imbalance. This is why the exercises coming in the next sections are so essential, because they are built for imbalance, not walking. Point 7. Strength is not about exercise. It's about control returning to your body. One of the biggest misunderstandings about strength after 75 is that people think it is about muscles alone. Bigger muscles, harder workouts, more effort. But orthopedic surgeons know something most people don't realize until it's too late. Strength is not about appearance. Strength is about control. Control over how you stand. Control over how you turn. Control over how you recover when something goes wrong. And control is what aging quietly takes away first. When seniors lose strength, what they really lose is trust in their own body. They begin hesitating before movements that once felt automatic. They pause before stepping off a curb. They grip furniture when walking through the house. They move slower not because they want to, but because their body no longer feels predictable. That hesitation is not weakness of character. It is the nervous system protecting itself from instability. Orthopedic surgeons often say that the most dangerous thing a senior can lose is not muscle mass, but confidence. Because once confidence is gone, movement shrinks. And when movement shrinks, strength disappears even faster. It becomes a cycle. Less confidence leads to less movement. Less movement leads to less strength. Less strength leads to more fear. And fear leads to falls. What strength training does, real targeted, age-appropriate strength training, is that it breaks this cycle. It gives the nervous system proof that the body can still respond. That when weight shifts, the hips stabilize. That when balance wobbles, the ankle corrects. That when posture changes, the core engages. Each small success sends a powerful signal to the brain. I can trust this body again. This is why seniors who rebuild strength often report something unexpected. They don't just feel stronger. They feel calmer, more grounded, more confident. Their movements become smoother. Their posture improves. Their steps become less hesitant. Not because life suddenly became safer, but because their body became capable again. Walking does not restore this sense of control. Walking keeps you moving forward. Strength gives you command over your body in every direction. Part 8. Imagine your body 1 year from now if you do nothing, and if you do something. Now take a moment and imagine yourself 1 year from today. Not in a dramatic way. Just honestly. Imagine waking up in the morning, stepping out of bed, and walking toward the bathroom. Imagine standing up from a chair. Imagine turning quickly because someone called your name. Imagine stepping into the shower. Imagine reaching for something on a shelf. If nothing changes, if walking remains the only movement your body receives, what will those moments feel like? Will you hesitate more than you do now? Will you rely on support more often? Will you move slower, not because you want to, but because your body demands it? Will your world quietly become smaller? Now imagine a different version of that same year. One where, for just a few minutes each day, you challenged your body in ways walking never could. You rebuilt the muscles that stabilize your hips. You reawakened the fast reactions in your ankles. You strengthened the core muscles that keep you upright. You trained your balance while standing still, not just while moving forward. In that version of the future, standing up feels easier, not harder. Turning feels smoother, not risky. Stepping sideways doesn't create anxiety. You don't think about balance as much because your body handles it automatically. You don't grip furniture as often. You don't hesitate before simple movements. You move with quiet confidence. The difference between these two futures is not age. It is not genetics. It is not luck. The difference is whether strength was allowed to return. Orthopedic surgeons see both futures every day, and they know which one leads to independence and which one leads to injury, fear, and loss of freedom. Part 9. The most important truth. It is not too late, and it is not out of your hands. Perhaps the most damaging myth about aging is the idea that decline is inevitable and irreversible. That after a certain age, the body can only lose, not regain. Orthopedic science proves this is false. Muscles respond to load at any age. Nerves adapt at any age. Balance improves at any age. The body does not give up on you just because you crossed a number on a calendar. What changes after 75 is not the body's ability to improve, but the type of stimulus it needs. Walking provides comfort. Strength provides adaptation. And adaptation is what keeps the body resilient. Many seniors wait for a warning sign before they act. A fall, a near fall, a fracture, a scare. But by then, the cost is higher and the recovery is longer. Orthopedic surgeons wish more seniors understood that strength training after 75 is not about performance. It is about prevention. It is about insurance. It is about giving your body the tools it needs before something goes wrong. And here is the most important line of this entire video, the one we want you to remember above all else. Control is still in your hands. Not complete control over aging, but control over how you age. Control over how strong your foundation remains. Control over whether your body can respond when life surprises you. You do not need to do everything. You do not need to train like an athlete. You do not need to push through pain. You simply need to stop relying on walking alone and start giving your body what walking cannot. Final conclusion: walking is good. Strength is essential. Walking has a place in healthy aging. It always will. It supports the heart. It supports the mind. It keeps you engaged with the world. But after 75, walking alone leaves too many gaps. Gaps in balance, gaps in strength, gaps in reaction speed, gaps in stability. And those gaps are exactly where falls occur. Strength training fills those gaps. It rebuilds the muscles that catch you when you stumble. It restores confidence in everyday movement. It protects your joints by supporting them properly. It improves posture, reaction speed, and balance. And most importantly, it preserves independence. So keep walking, but stop believing walking is enough. Add strength, add control, add protection. And remember, this video is for educational purposes only. Always consult your healthcare provider before beginning any new exercise routine. Now, we want to hear from you. What is the one movement that makes you feel most unsteady right now? Standing up? Turning? Stepping sideways? Balance? Share your experience in the comments. We read them. We respond. And your story may help someone else feel less alone. Take care of your body. It has carried you this far. And with the right support, it can carry you much further.